What's up?
This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh.
Period. Okay, so hey y'all. Let me just explain y'all. Okay, so y'all already know I'm in this data science, artificial intelligence boot camp, right? Okay, so for the first 4 weeks of the program, I had to learn how to use Python, which is basically a code. I had to learn how to code. And with that came several homework assignments and projects. And the last week was the last week of the first 4 weeks, like the first quarter of the program. And I also had to go to Cincinnati, as y'all already know, to help my little cousin find an apartment. She did find an apartment. We clearly went to Cincinnati. And so all that just had a lot going on. On top of that, when I came back, before I left on my PTO for work, somebody on another team was out and I was doing their backlog work. Then when I was out, my manager was also out one of them days. So we just had a whole bunch going on. Now, outside of that, I already be having a lot going on because now until August the 7th, my only free day is literally Sunday. Literally every single day on the calendar is accounted for except for Sundays. Very uncomfortable. So it just was best that we did not record. It just was not possible. Even with I think Friday was the first day that I didn't have anything to do besides my actual job, but I was not gonna spend that recording because I needed to go to sleep.
Yeah, I feel you. Listen, I wasn't complaining. I already knew.
Yeah, I know, but people, I know the feeling of when a podcast you love don't drop. There's actually a podcast right now that normally drops on Mondays. They have not dropped an episode, and it's very annoying. I get it because it's like when you want to watch a show, let's say Real Housewives, and you can't watch it because the Super Bowl long, and now you mad because then you got to wait another week for an episode to come on, and it's just like part of your routine. I totally understand. It's frustrating, but it is not intentional, and due to the fact that my job actually pays my bills. I somewhat kind of got there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we sold submerged, but we ain't sell retirement money, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm sorry, y'all. Maybe we can just try to like start back double recording like we used to back in the day, but it was just not happening last week, y'all. This cohort that I'm in is this. Let me tell you, this stuff is hard, but I'm gonna get through it. But that's all the explaining I'm gonna do. Anyway, what's up, Draco?
What's popping? So I'm currently over here recording with a handicap. I decided to go get my teeth cleaned today, and I got a deep cleaning. Well, whatever the step above deep cleaning is, that's what I got. Cause
you got a pressure wash.
I got something, but it wasn't that bad. Like the pain of getting it was very uncomfortable, but it was like a 4 out of 10. It wasn't too bad. It was some spots that were horrible, but whatever. I don't know what happened within the last 2 hours, but my mouth is swollen. I'm hurting. I can barely open my mouth, but I'm gonna push through because I got some stuff to talk about. Also, it has come time to for me to get an assistant because it's really bad. I know I talk about this all the time, but let me just I'm gonna just give y'all a little sneak peek of what I had going on in my life last week. Y'all the first to know besides Alicia, but I had the Keisha Lance Bottoms makeup.
Oh yeah, I was wondering if you was just gonna like wait till you got the photos to drop that.
I didn't post it on social media, obviously, but
yeah.
So with that being said, she did crown me as the Queen of Atlanta. She told me that she would offer me the key to the city for my birthday.
Okay.
I'm just playing now, but I worked with her. I can't say what it was for, but I worked with her. It went well. We got something else coming up soon.
So, period. That's fine. What did she really tell you that?
No, she didn't.
I was about to say,
I didn't. She did it.
Her husband was my coworker, technically. I mean, we basically worked at the same company. But I used to see him around campus and stuff like that. And she actually came and spoke at an event, but I couldn't make it because I was also drowning in projects. They just like to give me projects because I lived in the projects. I don't understand. They must don't know that don't mean the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But my schedule has just been really busy.
Yeah, same.
Like really, really, really busy to the point where I really don't have time for myself. And like I said before, I just don't feel comfortable talking budgets and negotiating my own rates, doing my own invoices, filling out my own paperwork sometimes, because if you skip over one small detail on the start paperwork for a job, they will literally not pay you. So
Oh,
I'm
for
just tired of
real?
dealing
You
with
gotta
that. Yeah.
resubmit it and stuff like that?
Yeah. And then it's like a longer process. And then with personal clients, like people who I work with directly, um, I've had a situation where my client's manager is forgetting to submit my invoices, and I have to resubmit it, and then they're looking like, where is this coming from? Baby, look at the date, and you know what?
Dang, do
We
they be
getting
having that
into
much
it.
going on too that they don't even know who they
Yeah,
paying?
I mean they do, but that ain't got nothing to do with me getting paid. You should put me as a priority when it
Yeah.
comes to getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was you and your money and what you got going on, who's to say? Like, thank God I'm a person that saves my money, but even if I did it, it doesn't matter if I have $5 or $6 million. It's mine. Like, I work
Right,
for
and
it.
they
So
definitely they didn't drag their feet when it came to actually getting you to come do the job. So,
exactly. So yeah.
well,
So yeah, I was supposed to be interviewing some people for the position this week. The first person didn't show up, so they're literally texting me right now trying to reschedule it. And the
and it's
thing is,
been what, 3 days?
Monday
Very nice.
we were supposed to meet on Monday, and yeah, it didn't happen. But we're texting right now. The thing is, I know the person, and I know they're good at what they do, and um, I would rather it be somebody that I know, because this is dealing with my money and my bank account and my personal information. So I would rather it be somebody that I know, but at this point, I'm desperate
Well, as
because
long
I
as you
can't.
don't mind firing somebody, you know.
I, I literally walked out of dinner on my ex's birthday and left him with the tab and broke up with him on his birthday. You think I'll
Okay.
give a F about firing
Relationships,
somebody?
employees. I feel you. I just remember I learned my lesson from hiring friends, and that ain't never ever happened again. But I know your situation could be different. So,
Yeah, no,
okay,
because it's not
cool.
like my friend. I don't hang out with this person, but I just know her and I know what she is.
Yeah, do you? Because I mean, well, I have a Black Business of the Week, y'all. So I actually posted about them on my Instagram stories today. So if you don't follow me, go ahead and follow me now at Alicia. But this week's Black Business of the Week is Portrait Coffee. Portrait Coffee is obviously a Black-owned coffee company. They're actually based out of the West End. They don't actually have a shop where you can go in and buy the coffee, but that is where they brew the beans. And let me tell you, I tried it today for the first time, and Black and Bold got a run for their money, baby.
Really?
It's so good. It's so good. And it's so crazy. So it's getting to the point where I'm really realizing how overrated Starbucks is when it comes to
Yeah.
quality brewed coffee. Oh my God. So yes, y'all, please check them out. The Instagram is just Portrait Coffee on Instagram. So at Portrait Coffee, and then you can go to their website. But they don't sell in a retailer right now, but you can buy it directly from them. But that shouldn't be no problem. They ship extremely fast. And especially if you live in Atlanta, like I feel like I ordered on a Monday and got it on Wednesday. Like for real. I ain't even joking. But this coffee is so good, y'all. I'm not even joking. Like, dang, Black folks really be grinding coffee. And it be
Yeah.
tasting good. It be slapping.
See, I haven't had coffee in a minute because I cut out sugar recently. So the only thing that I haven't eating that has sugar in it for real is edibles. I be eating like gummy edibles, but
Oh yeah, that's healthy.
I only eat like one though. It's not like I eat like 7.
I mean, how much sugar do you put in? Because I, honest to God, don't put no sugar in my coffee. Like I
Well,
just
I
use
use
creamer.
agave, which isn't bad. I said I would probably just just stick to that and then just I guess add it back in, but I just been chilling on that. But I do want to add coffee back into my everyday routine. I just cut it out because of, for one, I haven't been at home, and then two, I cut out sugar once I did come back home. Recently, I got a box from Martell, thanks to Karen Civil. Shout out to Karen Civil. She got me a box. First of all, it was only sent to women. It was supposed to be anyway, and
Oh,
she
not you
sent me
taking
one.
stuff out of Black women's mouths.
She sent me her own. She didn't want it. So she sent it to me, and it came with I'm guessing this is I don't know if it's owned by a black woman, which I'm guessing because everything in the box is pretty much owned by a black woman besides Martell. But some coffee. I don't know if you heard this before. It's called Cool Click Coffee.
Come on, Cool Click. Okay, no, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, but it says it's the strongest coffee, the boldest, the finest. I haven't tried it yet because I haven't. It's based out of Orlando, but it says they tested coffee from Latin America, Central America, Africa, East Africa, West
I like
Africa.
my beans from Ethiopia, so if they got a nice little light blend from Ethiopia, we got a deal.
I don't know, but
But
they
I
got
checked them
cake
out though,
up.
because it's really like this coffee. I mean, I can't even believe that I am saying that I like coffee. When I worked at Starbucks in college, I literally told the GM that coffee tasted like tar, and he was not pleased with that statement because he said everybody loves coffee, especially if you're serving it. I was like, well, I don't, and I ain't last there that long, like 3 months.
I forgot you
But
worked
now,
this time.
yeah, at the airport. Yes, but oh my God, it's so good, y'all. So anyway, all right, cool. Yeah, I put the information in the episode notes per usual. Please give them a chance, check them out. Yeah, let us know what you think. So anywho, let's get into shop talk. So many things have happened. Jesus
Let's
Christ.
talk about the most important first, because I do got
Baby,
some.
Derek Chauvin found guilty on all 3 counts, sweetheart. First
Yes.
of all, they better have him in general population. He better get the max sentencing. He's facing up to 75 years. He need to have 77. Okay.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that he's not the only one that's on trial for this. Also, his little flunkies that was also on the scene with him. I want them also found guilty, but I'm very glad that Derek Chauvin, the actual knee placer, is being found guilty of murder. I honestly, it's so crazy. I was reading a lot of people tweet this on Twitter, like, we all or y'all all saw this happen on video, and yet we still are anxious about a verdict in the case because obviously the defense attorney has to like try to discourage the jury from thinking that anything wrong was done, even though they sounded foolish. That is their job, and people are entitled to a fair trial according to the Constitution. Blah 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 blah. But thank God they got it right. Now this don't mean that it's gonna always be right. So the work is still needing to be done. But I am so because George Floyd's death really shook the world. Like, you remember how things were last year? I just couldn't.
I remember.
It really set off a whole movement. I just can't imagine. Like, I feel like if he didn't get found guilty, what is the hope we have in any other cases? And it was just so much evidence, like the actual footage, good clear footage, several witnesses. You know what I'm saying? So it just would be hard for me to understand if people did not find him guilty. And I'm just grateful that the entire trial was televised. And it is what it is. And I can't wait for them to put him under the jail. I need him to have a little less betting than others. Make him sleep on the floor. Make him eat his food out of the toilet bowl. Whatever you gotta do.
Yeah. Child. Yeah, definitely. I found out when I was driving. So I was excited about that just because I do remember like last year around that time when it happened, like, I mean, it was freaking terrible. Like, I feel like as much traveling as I've been doing, Atlanta, since it's open, of course, we're making our city is making money. So we're able to restore things that were broken during the riots and stuff. But
Protest.
even in California,
we had some riots.
we're like protesting, like
Okay.
when they was looting and stuff like that.
Let's use the right verbiage because they would love to say we were rioting.
Sorry. But I even went to LA. It's buildings is still boarded up from that. Like a year later, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow, that was a huge impact. Like, even in other cities I've seen, I'm like, damn, like this shit is really crazy.
Well, it looks like it worked.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully it doesn't have to get taken to the extreme every time this happens, because we definitely had this happen recently within the last 2 weeks. So we definitely got more trials coming up for people that were killed by police officers, and hopefully it doesn't have to get taken to this extreme. Hopefully they can see, like, just treat it as a fair thing. Like, they murdered them, whether they're a police officer or not. You take off the uniform, they're still a regular person.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just too much. Like, it's so much. They actually need to change. They need to go back and change rules for police officers. They got
that qualified immunity. I was just about to say, I believe the state of New York just recently got rid of qualified immunity, basically, which just means a police officer can just not be found guilty. Like, they can justify their actions under this law. So yeah, I agree, because that is literally what protects them being an actual police officer. I mean, but in this case, I can't see how qualified immunity could have worked in Derek Chauvin's favor. And thank God it didn't. Pussy.
Okay.
Anyways, all right. So what you got anything for shop talk?
I sure do. So I don't know if you guys are followers or fans or supporters of Shane Justin and Greg, who is GSUWU. Just a little small backstory. Both of them are, the first of all, they date each other, and they also own clothing lines that are very similar, but they each have their own, and they are made popular by like Jada and Ari, like big influencers like that. They wear their stuff online and they sell out. They have so many stores. Well, no, I think they have three each. They have one in Atlanta, one in Miami, one in New York, and I think one of them have something in Chicago or something like that. But anywho, um, they're just like really known because of them. Like I said, their clothing line, and they're very flashy. Like they're very, very, very flashy.
The clothing or the designers?
The designers.
Okay.
So like when it comes to their birthdays and stuff, like Shane bought his boyfriend, the other guy, he bought him like 2 cars. He bought like,
how long they been together?
6 years.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. They've been together for 6 years. He bought him 2 cars. He bought him $100,000 Hellcat. He bought him Cartier watch. I mean, like all types of diamonds, literally everything. So apparently this week is Shane's birthday. Shane is the one who bought the boyfriend all the stuff. And Shane, just from the outside looking in, to me, Shane is the breadwinner of the two. Like he makes the most money, or at least that's what it comes off as, because like I said, he's very flashy. Mm-hmm. And I've watched a few of their YouTube videos because I genuinely wanted to know how they got so much money. And that's no shade, because on one of the YouTube episodes, they bought a $1.5 million home. And I was just like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Because
well, you know, to qualify for a $1.5 million home, all you gotta generate is about $300,000 or $400,000 a year. No shade.
I just still should. I wouldn't even look at it. So you know what I'm saying? Like that's I'm not even looking at it. I'll drive past it, but that's it. His birthday was this week, and he went to Dubai. They went to Dubai for his birthday, and they had one of the biggest breakups that I've ever seen. It's been all over the blogs, all over the internet. It's crazy.
Fill me in, because I feel like I saw a clip on Neighborhood Talk, and I just didn't bother clicking because I didn't know who nobody was. I know who Shane Justin was, but I didn't care that much. No shade.
Yeah. So, but I don't know the root of what caused the actual fallout between the two, but they went with a big group of people because they hang out with the people who work in their stores. Mm-hmm. So they went out there to Dubai. Okay, so what happened was when they got to Dubai, they had a house out there, and the girl and Greg, who was his boyfriend, were planning on having him like a little like decorating the house and have somebody come over to cook, and they had a dinner plan for him, the club night, all this other stuff. They bought him like really expensive gifts because he always buys them expensive gifts. So they got him something really nice for his birthday. Greg ended up buying him like a ring, a chain. He got him a Birkin, like that big Birkin bag. He got him that. Greg said that when he gave him that Birkin,
he gave him is Justin.
Justin. When he gave Justin the Birkin, he gave Shane the Birkin. He literally threw it back at him and said, "That's not how you give people gifts." No. Like he was like, but
and the whole unwarranted.
Yeah, he said because everybody kept saying they didn't know what was wrong with him. He just was being like standoffish and not talking to nobody the whole time they've been there. So they didn't know what it was, and even Greg kept saying like, "Oh, he didn't even want to sleep in the bed with me." Like it was just weird. So then
I'm so lost.
In the text messages, I might have just go to the text messages because I was like, wow, that is disgusting. Like, keep in mind he's talking to his quote unquote friends, employees, and boyfriend this way.
In a group chat?
Mm-hmm. In a group chat with everybody. He said she basically was screenshotting and saying, like, posting all the stuff that they had planned and how the people were coming to do it, because he was trying to make it seem like they weren't spending enough money on him. That's the bottom line. Oh my
God. You know what? That's social media create these type of characters.
That was the bottom line of it. He was like, you can give me my fucking Chanel bag back that I bought you. I'll give it to my dog. Because he was just basically like talking to her crazy. The girl name is Jabria. He said, Jabria, how you...
Yeah.
Right. He said, Jabria, how your long bald head ranky ass playing a yacht for somebody when it ain't even your birthday? Ho, I'm confused. You ain't pay for that shit. He was like, I'm confused. Your man never took you out the country before, so you don't know how to act. And Greg, you must have forgot that we got to go home one day. Them hoes ain't gonna be here forever to save you.
And so what is he complaining about? Them planning a yacht for him?
Yeah, he after he kept like blowing them off, they was like, we in Dubai, like we not finna just keep kissing your ass. We about to just go have fun ourselves then, since you want to be by yourself. And when they did, that's when he went off.
Oh,
but he blew them off, and he kept calling them like fake ass hoes. He said she got him a $4,000 Louis Vuitton bag for his birthday, and he said he wrote in a group message. He said, "Well, I thank you for the gift, but I'm gonna just let my dog play with it." He's talking about because if you complain about $4,000, I'll literally wipe my dog's ass with that. Like he was talking to them all type of crazy. It was just disgusting. Like, so yeah, I don't know. They both fighting with each other on the internet. It's like a big thing. I was going back and forth from live to live last night.
I don't feel like I missed nothing by scrolling past that post. Cool, got it.
No, but I do want to.
I don't even understand what happened.
I was going to say, I'm curious to know, like, if people are going to support his business after this.
Of course. This is what I've gathered in this social media era. It don't matter how bad you cancel somebody, the people are still going to take their side. So he's going to always have supporters. It's like, it's not, I mean, it might not be as many as it was before, but it's definitely going to happen. People always bounce back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. Once again, Lil Nas is under fire on the internet.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Okay.
Because people are like chastising him for not, because his mom is addicted to drugs. She's an addict, and she is like on the streets basically
in Atlanta, which I didn't know. This was news to me.
Yeah, like she's on the streets in Atlanta, and people keep seeing her and recording her and like putting her on the internet, saying that it's wrong as fuck that he's making all this money and he's not trying to help his mom. Now, I actually pay attention to Lil Nas. Like, I follow him on social media, and he's even said in plenty of TikTok videos that he tried to he put his mom in rehab a few times and it just never worked. It's like it's not nothing he could do. First of all, he's an adult, and second of all, like, I don't think that people understand how addiction works. Like, I mean,
well, they don't want to understand.
Yeah, if you don't have anybody, if you don't have anybody around you or in your family that's addicted to drugs or alcohol, I mean, that's amazing. But literally, it's nothing that you can do to save them. Like, I watched my mom growing up trying to save her. She had twin brothers and sisters who are no longer with us. It was a boy and a girl, and she literally would go, like, I would be in a car with her, and she would like drive downtown to find them, and she would find them and put them in the car. She would bring them to our house for like 3 days, let them take a shower, feed them, get them some clothes. Let them stay in a warm apartment, and then they just go back to the street. So, I mean, it's literally nothing that you can do. Even if
it's not, man. It's,
you know what I'm saying?
It's actually really sad. And I, like you, I can't really say anybody in my family, not that I can remember, but definitely people around me, neighbors, friends, parents that was strung out on drugs. And it's like you said, I mean, you honestly, deep down, they do know better, but that addiction has such a strong hold on them. It's hard. It's just not, and like when people say, oh, you need to get them some help or you need to do this, it's like, get them help. They have to want to do it. People go to rehab all the time and relapse. Like, it's not that simple. It's really not. Yeah. But yeah, and I with you mentioned that, I did want to say, rest in peace DMX, because we actually didn't record the week that he passed away. But that's another one of those situations where all these big celebrities are like, oh, we should have did more. I'm like, well, why are you telling us? You the one that had access to them. Who is we? You mean you? And it's just like, and I get it. I get, you wish that you could have done more, but when you say we should have done more, it makes me feel like you condone his actions or you contributed to it. You know what I'm saying? So if you wasn't somebody who literally took him to get help or connected him with a therapist, don't be talking about what you should have did, because it's not the first artist to deal with drugs. It's not gonna be the last. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, save all that unless you actually putting in the work. But it's so drugs and alcohol. Oh my God, it's just. It's bad. It's crazy. But I mean, And then, you know, people might judge, but it's people who can't stop eating. It's eating disorder. It's just so many addictions that people might try to value one over the other. They all can be deadly. And it's just really sad. And like you said, it's nothing. I mean, Lil Nas X can do all he wants. I mean, honestly, throwing money at her is only going to probably make her addiction worse. And we saw Mario deal with that with his mother. Yeah, remember he had that TV show about it? Like, all just having money and being famous does not fix somebody's problems. Like, you have to want to do it yourself. And if they don't, what can you do? Like, I mean, what your mother did for her siblings was probably the most some people can do. Cause it's like, you know, sometimes they can be like, I don't even want them in my house. They're going to steal some stuff so they can go buy a rock. They're not going to want my help. They're going to make me even madder. But it's like, you know, at least make sure they clean, have some clean clothes, have somewhere to stay for the night. But other than that, it's like, what can you do? We are adults, man. And it's not man, oh my goodness. I've seen some situations, man. It's really sad. But yeah, that's why I had to change my perspective.
I can just understand how embarrassing that is for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably really wants his mom to get help, and he probably doesn't have any like ill feelings towards her, or maybe he does. But and it's like, you know, just to see people like throw that in his face, and
that's the internet, and half of these folks probably 14 years old, child. It ain't even worth even.
Oh man, that man who recorded it was grown as fuck.
Like, I didn't see the actual video.
Yeah, he was grown, and he was sitting there trying to like justify why he is wrong for not helping his mama.
How did they know that was his mama?
So for the Grammys, when he won the Grammy, they actually have a picture together, and in the picture, I want to say that people were like chastising, I guess, the way that she looked, because I mean, you can tell that she was strung out or whatever, has
dealing with something. Yeah.
And so from that photo, and then just in general, people know him like around town, just like word of mouth, because his brothers are like producers. Like, his brothers make beats, and they do a lot of stuff. So a lot of people know his family and his sister and everything. So he's known around Atlanta. Well, his family is known, kind of.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah. Well, what can you do? That's why I don't want to be famous. I want this podcast to take off, but I want to be the invisible podcaster. Figure that out, y'all. Figure it out.
you can put me up there. I'm ready.
Well, honey, you already got some PR training. I ain't editing that out. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Go ahead. I'll let Draco. He pulled this topic out his behind, literally. So
okay, so we all know that Azealia Banks is one of the most outspoken people in this industry. Okay.
What industry is that?
Music industry, the entertainment industry as a whole. In my opinion, everything that she says isn't always a bad thing. It's coming from her. So yeah. But anywho, she brought up the topic earlier this week, or within the past week. She said that, you know, when she's in a relationship or she's dating, guys always bring up the conversation about threesomes. And she says that, you know, she feels as if men think they're obligated to do it. Like, the women in a relationship are just obligated to do it, whether she thinks the girl is fire in her turn. She was like, whether if I think the girl is fire, or if I think she's cute, or I'm attracted to her, I'm just automatically supposed to be down with put my face in her vagina, or, you know, whatever y'all do in the bedroom. But can we talk about the conversation? What if I want a threesome? So I'm bringing another dude in the room. You asked me to do this. So if I bring another dude in the room, are you ready to do some stuff too?
I hear this alternating debate a lot, or read it anyway.
Yeah, same here. And so it'll be a little different coming from me, just because I'm not in a relationship at all, but I don't date heteronormative style dating. So in my opinion, mine is going to be a little different, because obviously I'm a little bit open-minded, because people still look at my lifestyle as, well, let me not say lifestyle. They look at my sexuality as something foreign. So I wanted to get your opinion. I know that you personally haven't indulged in nothing like that, but
you don't know what I done did.
Okay, well, spill it.
I haven't though.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I have never had a threesome, number one. And in my relationships, it's never really been like it'll be something that's mentioned, but I think that they would take it if I offered it, but it's never been like I gotta have this type of thing. I personally am not attracted to women.
Yeah.
So I would prefer for it to be two men, but I know that due to, you know, the way society has painted what men are supposed to do in relationships, I can't really expect that to go down that way. Now as far as with a girl, you better get me drunk because I can't eat. Oh, Jesus Christ. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, I just think that when it comes to sexual stuff, I just wish that people look at sex as pleasure and not associating it with sexual preference as far as gender, if that makes sense. So, for example, like this weekend, somebody told me about a straight guy who has an OnlyFans who pleases himself with a dildo, and people just kind of like calling him gay, but he's like, bro, I'm not gay. I just like pleasing myself. And you know what? You're right. The way I look at it,
the guy, you know, the guy who made the song "Juju on the Beat," he does that.
It was probably him in that video.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know, but yeah, I just think that people just get so. You know, I thought about this when they had the verses with the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire. Like when you look at throwback pictures of them, they was wearing crop tops, platform heels, and things that society today would deem feminine or gay. It was like just not even that deep back then. And I wonder where that changed. Where did that come from? Did it come from like it wasn't the influence of a different style of music or what? But I truly feel like sex is sex, pleasure is pleasure, and the only thing that makes you gay is being gay.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a threesome, have a threesome. If it's three people, it's a threesome. It's not a train. It's sex. Have it with whoever you want to have it with. It's not even that deep. Like if I was to have a threesome with a man, two men, I wouldn't think either of them were gay. I just think that we had a threesome. So
yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I love that you think like that. That's awesome. You know, unfortunately, I have other friends who think otherwise, which is fine. I respect people's opinion, but I just like being around people who kind of think similar to me because I don't want to feel uncomfortable when I bring up certain situations or need to talk about it. But anywho, also in the same week, Latoya Ali had an interview with Candy, and she brought up the fact that apparently people are saying that her current lover has been accused of having a gay history, quote unquote.
Her ex-husband said that. Adam Ali said that.
Yeah. He said that her new lover has a gay history, and she said that she would be okay with that because it was before her.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw him, I definitely got feminine vibes. I mean, and not that feminine means gay, but if we're gonna be stereotypical and you know the way things are viewed in society, I definitely thought he was a gay man. Like if it was one of those tell me you gay without telling me you gay type of situations. And I didn't watch this on her ex-husband's page, but apparently he had quote unquote receipts of the guy like messing with Jeffree Star. But he said that he just trained him like as a personal trainer. But I definitely got feminine vibes, but I did hear her say that. And that's cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I mean, hey, if he is, then he is. And then the point that she made is like, okay, so what if he is? Now what? Like, what do you want me to do? Because I'm with this man and we got matching tattoos and we got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, which I think was a bit of a gun jump, but hey, she's a little weird.
Do you?
Yeah, that's her. That's been her life. That's how she even got famous. So,
I do know that in this industry, people do a lot of things to get clout, and they do a lot of things to get on. I think that we only see the women doing it just because usually the people that are on the internet on the blogs are usually trying to go after like rappers or athletes.
The men never really hear them.
Men do it, but we don't really see that side of the story all the time. It's always like, oh, this person is after this rapper, blah, blah, blah. And they doing like really what will be considered crazy or weird to regular people. You know what I'm saying?
Like what?
Like getting your lover's face tattooed on you and name on them like 6 times and getting pregnant, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, I got
doing things for, you know what I'm saying, like doing stuff for clout.
Like, this gonna set them off right here. Go ahead, don't pull out.
Oh dang. So I think that it's never really talked about from the male perspective because the thing is, I've witnessed it with my own two eyeballs. People's boyfriends and exes, they've done stuff, especially when it comes to people who have money. Um, a lot of these male celebrities are definitely not openly gay. I mean, I think that that's not a secret at this point, but people don't even realize that they pay a lot of quote unquote straight men to do things.
Yeah. And
in
that
my
happens
opinion,
in regular civilization.
yeah, like for real. Like and it's so even with the thing with Jeffree Star, I mean, you see what happened with the other guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he was, disguised himself as a trainer, because
Well, he is a trainer.
he is a trainer.
Yeah.
But usually, and I could be sounding very stereotypical, but I'm telling you from my experience, guys who do stuff like that, who are considered, I guess you consider them escorts or
sex workers.
Sex workers. There we go. Usually the two jobs that they have for the public to see, they're either a trainer or a masseuse.
Trainers be getting it in. Okay. Not a masseuse. That's new to me.
Oh yeah. So if people be like advertising themselves as a massage therapist or a masseuse, they usually be.
You know what? Masseuse is definitely what they be saying. It's a gateway.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely too much body oil going on, rubbing, skin on skin contact. It's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, like for me, I'm not gonna get into my personal sex life when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, I do what I do. It ain't nobody's business.
I could have went without that hint. I'm just playing.
I'm just saying, like it ain't like I just be out here just doing crazy stuff. I really don't. Let me tell you, I'm boring. If I told y'all, if I actually,
and I think that's what people think. I think everybody think that everybody's having regular sex. Yeah. That's what I think, but that is not the case. People like to do, like, people are not just doing missionary and doggy style. They are not just having sex in the bedroom. Okay, they are doing it everywhere, every kind of way. And I think that that's what people. I hate the word normalize because it's being overused, but I do think that people should just normalize creative sex, if that makes any sense. Because I think that's where all the judgment and weirdness comes from. Like, if you want, I mean, as long as you're doing it safely and it feels good, then. Who are me to judge? Yeah. Like, I just think, like, when people be like, oh, they be using, like, there are people who frown on masturbation and sex toys and things of that nature, when in reality it's just like, like, if let's say you get married, if y'all just gonna be landing y'all backs on the same thing every day, then you definitely not gonna be pleased for the rest of your life. You just kind of gotta trust
it's yourself. The same as you get bored, like you want to try new things, and that's perfectly okay. I feel like I have the conversation all the time that because recently I actually had a conversation with one of my followers on Instagram, and he's a straight male. And
not one of your followers.
Yeah, because he kept posting a shirt that Supreme was selling like 2 weeks ago of a bear with a strap on. Like a strap on. It was like a teddy bear with a strap on and like a body harness. And okay. So I and he was like, oh, this shirt is so fire. Oh my God, I'm getting this. I'm getting both colors. So I said, can I ask you a personal question without being offended? And he was like, what's up? He was like, I said, so are straight men finally like okay with the fact that they get pegged? Because I mean, it's not a secret. Like, I know that happens in the bedroom and it's perfectly okay. But I said, is that like an open thing now since they're making a shirt like that? He said, oh, I ain't even think of it like that. I just saw a shirt with a bear with a strap on and I thought it was cool. And I'm
and he definitely can't speak for the male population, because I hear the peg conversation a lot and people are not openly accepting, but it happens a lot. It's the thing, it's something that is obviously not going to be openly discussed or accepted because of homophobia. So it's like, yeah, of course. I don't know how he would know it. He said he claimed he didn't even look at it that way, but what did he think of when he saw it?
Now, he said that he just thought it was a shirt, a bear with a strap on. He thought it would look cool.
What, did the strap on have a dick on it, or was it just like the harness?
Yeah. It had a dick on it.
Okay. I mean, hey, do you? I don't give a darn. I've never done the whole pegging thing. I'm afraid to ask.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just a conversation. Like, I've had two friends to tell me that they've done it, and it was because the guy approached them about it.
Yes,
and
and
ask them.
listen, and like people have been saying for decades, centuries, that the male G spot is in the butthole. Just accept it. That's what it is. But I remember I was looking at something with Boosie the other day. I know Boosie had it, but he even said, which I think summarizes most people's feelings towards it. He feels like if he like getting his balls sucked, if you go as far as your butt, he knows that he's gonna like it too much, and he's gonna feel weak, like vulnerable. And so they rather feel like it makes them manly to avoid that when you really cheating yourself out of a good time.
You really are.
And LGBTQ said that.
You know, I mean, you really are. I mean, and I explain that to guys too, because like I have a lot of straight male friends, and they're okay with me talking about certain things. So we just have discussions, and I'm like, honestly, like I think that people just have to let that go. Like, because me personally, I mean, for the longest, I will always say, oh, if a guy does that, he's gay. That was me being young and ignorant. I grew
Yeah,
up.
I think we all kind of, if you talk it's gay, then that's what you're gonna think until you realize you just need to stop caring.
And so when I got older, I realized like, okay, this is literally just basic anatomy. Like, this is just a part of that we were given. Like, why would we be equipped with this if it wasn't supposed to be used or be? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. What a coincidence. No, you're right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, and listen, if you don't want a penis, then use a cucumber. No, just kidding.
Kidding. But even still, like if it's done for, I think that if it's done by a woman or even, I don't consider that gay. I don't.
Gay is just being gay.
Literally, gay is identifying that you date men.
Yes, it's just like get past that. What if you're having sex, you want to feel good? It just does not matter. It's just like it's just so crazy that people care so much about what other people do in the bedroom and what people. Now, I do understand you being concerned about someone sharing that information with it being stigmatized the way that it is. But outside of that, I just feel like if it feel good, do it. Shoot, who cares?
Yeah,
I like cleaning my ear with Q-tips, even when ain't no wax in there, because it feel good.
you shouldn't do that. You're gonna damage your eardrum.
I'll buy another one and clean that one out too.
Okay. All right.
So if with given this conversation, so you basically would never do anything that will involve a girl for the sake of pleasure?
And that's because I'm not attracted to women. Like I
Me either.
I understand that.
Nobody on this podcast like pussy. That's crazy.
Ain't it? Wow. So I'm not attracted to women. Like I'm not sexually attracted to women. You know what I'm saying? People always ask me, okay, I'm like, well, I know you're not attracted to women, but would you date a trans woman? And I was like, in my head, no, but I mean, who's to say never? I would never say never. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't that be presenting as a woman though?
It's woman presenting, but
my bad.
It's woman presenting. I mean, but realistically speaking, if they're not fully transitioned, they're definitely they still, they have stuff that.
And so you're saying that you may.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I would just never say never. I'm not saying that that's what I'm attracted to or that I will do it, but I don't want to say never because it's a lot of stuff that I've done that I was like I will never fucking do that, and I did.
Yeah, I remember saying I wasn't gonna have sex until marriage.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't want to say I would never do that.
Double homicide.
That was crazy.
Have you been to a sex club before?
A sex club? Mm-hmm. No. I went to an underground strip club before.
Okay.
And it was given. Okay, so let me just explain what it was. So they be having these like underground strip clubs, and this particular one was inside of an old car repair shop.
Oh wow!
On Bankhead. Okay. So I pulled up. I'm like, well, I got there with my friends. I'm like, what is this?
Like, nah, I ain't due for no oil change now.
That's what it was given. So when we walked in, they took money at the door. So I said, oh. So when we walked in there, it was just people standing around listening to music. It was lights and stuff, and then there were strippers that would come out, and of course you just tip them, but they're dancing. So it was a room. It was like a dark room that you go in. Like it was just a doorless hallway, a doorless room, and no lights were in there. Nobody's phones were in there. It was literally pitch black. They were doing God knows what in there because I couldn't see nothing. But it was people just going in there. Like, and I kept bumping in the chairs because I walked in there. I wanted to see.
You sure it was a chair?
No, it was chairs. It was
a human chair.
It was a couch in there. It was chairs in there. And yeah, it was just a lot going on. Keep in mind, my phone went off. My phone had started ringing. So, you know, when your phone ring, the light come on.
Mm-hmm.
They was yelling at me. I got up out of there. Like, hey, you got to get out.
You need to leave.
Exactly. It was giving it. I was like, oh, I don't think this is for me. First of all, they had bottom shelf liquor in there. I was like, I don't
even know what that means. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've never been to a sex club either, but I do think that being in that kind of environment can lead to you doing something you said you wouldn't do, just because you're just kind of caught up in the moment. And I mean, I'm pretty open-minded, but I don't want to play it safe until I don't have to.
Yeah. Now I do have this. I guess you could say I was talking to this one guy who was engaged to a woman, and he introduced me to his fiance, and apparently they are just polyamorous and they're swingers, so they are okay with each other going out to mess with people of the same sex. So after a while, like in the beginning, I was like, this is weird. Like, I don't know what the end goal is. I'm looking to date. I would want a boyfriend, and this can't
like I want to be with one person who wants to be with just me.
Yeah, so we ended up like kicking it and stuff like that. But after a while, it was kind of making me uncomfortable because he would ask me to send him like pictures, regular pictures, like selfies or just whatever. Sorry, I choked.
Oh, you said you had the vaccine.
I choked, girl. Anywho, he would ask me to send him pictures, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just over here admiring you with my fiance," and that made me feel uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, that would make me feel uncomfortable too, because
I'm like, he would text me like, if I feel like a picture doesn't look right on my timeline, I'll archive it. He literally texted me one day like, I archived it, and within 2 hours, he was like, "Why you take that picture off your page?"
Oh wow.
I was like,
you know, when I think about people who are in those relationships where they have several partners, because I mean, in reality, they are in serious relationships. I don't think I could ever do that, because after the first 24 hours, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. I want to break up. I don't like these. I don't like sharing.
No, I feel you. I don't know. It's that part isn't for me. But I have done some things that I said I would never do, but I actually ended up liking it.
Oh wow, we listening.
What you want me to do? What you want me to say?
That what you did.
Oh my gosh, I promise you, I'm not joking. Why this couple is writing me on Facebook?
The couple you was talking about?
No, this just happened out of nowhere. I'm looking and it's like pictures of two people. So I don't know if y'all know, Facebook has dating on there. It's called Facebook dating, and somebody's writing me from.
Oh, so you use it? Because I never even clicked on it before.
Yeah, I'll be on there just looking to see what's going on. I never really met anybody on there.
Okay. So, anywho, to wrap this topic,
go. You gonna wrap it because I started it off.
I don't rap. Just kidding. Yeah, I just think, I know this started off with Azalea Banks basically saying like, you want this, but what I want? I think that this is why it's very important to have partners that want the same thing as you. And if somebody expresses they're not interested in something, you can't really force it. It might work sometimes, but you don't want to be hindering yourself or getting the pleasure that you desire because you want to be in a relationship. And I do think some things can come with education, but sex is such a touchy topic even now.
I don't know why. Like, first of all, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just got real passionate about something because I'm like, for starters, what does it have to do with you? You not doing it with them?
Yeah, but people.
So why you worried about?
People don't know how to remove themselves outside of that idea. Like I think that people have so much pride that they have to automatically go in defense mode when these topics come up, even when it doesn't affect them, because that's just what they've been taught to do. When in reality, it should just be, it's like, I'm pescatarian right now, right? I don't eat no meat, whatever. I eat seafood, which I'm about to cut out anyway. I watch Seaspiracy, is really giving plant-based. But people, if I don't eat meat, people are like, oh, why you eat meat? Instead, you should just be like, oh, okay, you don't, like, it shouldn't matter. Like, why do you care? Like, I don't smoke or drink, and people be like, oh my God, how you have fun? Why can't you just be like, oh, okay, you don't smoke or drink? Like, why does it matter? It does not matter.
Yeah. Yeah, people did me like that too. When I was vegan, and like even now, like I cut out like rice and pasta and stuff like that. So when my friends like try to go out to eat, I was like, whatever. They're like, oh, I hate when you start doing this. Why? Why is it affecting
Why?
your?
Because you're gonna eat, and so am I.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
now
don't
they
like
be
this
looking
one.
at stuff like my friend, like people get mad because over time my taste buds just get better. Like and I think that as anybody get older, you can start tasting the difference between real food and like bullshit.
Oh, for sure. Well, all right. Holla at y'all next week. Holla at your girl.
Holla at your curl and holla
Holla
at
at
your
your
world.
world. Holla at your pearl. Holla at your twirl.
Oh, and holla at
Bye.
your girl.
All right. Look at